spell in occasionally. Mike McCullough as well. Second down and 7. Moving in the pocket, over the middle. And Jermaine Copeland. Did he make that catch? No, he did not, say the officials. If he had, that was highlight reel stuff.
Well, this ball comes in low. Jermaine Copeland goes down with one hand to get it. But you see right there, it appeared to me to hit the ground.
The veteran, the savvy veteran, Jermaine Copeland.
Well, you got to love how the veteran just tries to sell it. You just go with it.
He knows how to do that. Tristan Jackson waits near his 15-yard line. Noel Prefontaine.
Way to look over, too.
Can't angle this one. Now Jackson trying to burst outside. He's got some room here. There's a penalty flag though. Now he cuts back near his 20. And he's dropped by the special teams leader in tackles, Brian Crawford. And another penalty flag flies here. Some unsportsmanlike conduct. After the tackle, there are flags everywhere. One at the 22, one at the 10, another one at the 8, one at the 30.
And I'll tell you, the last one's probably going to go against Tristan Jackson, who kind of stuffed the ball in the face of Brian Crawford after the Argo running back made the tackle.
Tristan Jackson, the former Edmonton Eskimo.
Saskatchewan number 12.
Fourth year in the
Objectionable
CFL.
conduct, taunting. Saskatchewan number 38. We're going to go back half the distance to the goal twice, and it's first down.
So here's what happened with Tristan Jackson.
And Jackson, the return man, gets tackled from behind by Brian Crawford. Don't know if he felt Crawford tried to trip him up a little bit at the end. But that ball to the face is what earned him the flag. Tristan Jackson has arrived here tonight with a little bee in his bonnet, so to speak, into it earlier in this ball game with the man he'll be covering much of the night, Chad Owens.
So after all those penalties, this is an extraordinary long field for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Double tight
start they did not envision. Down 8-0, have already given up the ball on a turnover in the first play, and then a 2-0. Darian Durant needs some protection now. Has to escape and lay it out. And making the grab is Neil Hughes. About 8 yards on that pass as they escape the shadows of their goalpost.
A nice catch there by the Saskatchewan fullback. Get a chance to look at this Argo defense. As mentioned earlier, Kevin Huntley, the big defensive tackle out of the lineup. Alex Busby in his place in the linebacking core. Second year as a linebacker. Jordan Younger's the veteran of that group with Kowali and Cannon. And in the secondary, the Argos get Evan McCullough back at field halfback after a few weeks on the IL.
Second and short yardage. Up the middle goes Stu Ford. In a collision with Linjay Shell. Willie Pyle on the tackle. And a first down, so the Regina native, Stu Ford, getting some time in the backfield here. Again, all the injuries. No Wes Cates. No Hugh Charles, who had 3 touchdowns last week and 3 flips. Evanson Bernard has been signed by the Riders and is in the lineup tonight.
Well, Stu Ford, the local boy, played his junior football with the Regina Thunder. Thunder preparing to take on the Edmonton Wildcats in Prairie Football Conference action this weekend.
Saskatchewan number 89. Go back half the distance to the goal, second down.
And that will be negated.
The receiver, Chris Getzlaff, the man who's flagged coming from the outside in with that attempted cut block, earns the flag. You see the early frustration mounting for Saskatchewan head coach Greg Marshall.
A lot of penalties as well. 7th in the league, second last. Penalty yardage. Now Durant has to run with it. There he goes, and Darian Durant Looks like he got the first down as he escaped the pocket and had to run for his life. Let's go down to Claude Fagg on the sidelines tonight.
Thanks very much, Rod. Well, clearly a big hole in the Argo defense without Kevin Huntley, not just because he's 6'8" and 293 pounds, but last week against the Ticats in Hamilton, Jim Barker telling me prior to kickoff that Huntley suffered what he called a high-low kind of hit. He did play through it, but eventually would not be able to finish on his terms. And this week, still not healed up, but they're hoping that Huntley will be back after their bye week next week to play the Lions here in 2 weeks' time.
Weston Dressler meet Byron Parker. Big hit on the inside reverse handoff. Minimal gain for Weston Dressler.
Well, Byron Parker doesn't get a chance to do this very often out there on the island, manning the wide side corner. And here he lowers the boom on Rider receiver Weston Dressler. Parker, one of the veterans of this Argo defense. Man who's excited to be playing for his former teammate and new coordinator, Orlando Steiner.
Second down, 9. Throwing down again for Darren Durant. Here's the rush. And making the catch is Ephraim Hill. And he got a first down. Ephraim Hill coming off of one of his biggest outings in the CFL last week. 11 catches, 177 yards last week against Calgary.
And great execution by the Rider offense. Argos try to bring the house in this obvious passing situation. Durant gets rid of it quickly. Hill breaks off that route. And again, fights off a shoulder tackle. You got to wrap up.
Ephraim Hill go to the outside this time. He's playing a lot in the inside with Darian Durant. Durant's looking towards him again. Hill was open for a moment. Now Durant has to find a receiver who's just going to chuck it away.
Credit the coverage of the Toronto Argonauts secondary there. Durant had lots of time initially to get rid of that football, but just no one's open. And this is one of those situations where it seems like maybe the lack of familiarity between receivers and their quarterback. You see all the receivers occupied by defenders, but lack of familiarity as no one really seemed to move around to help them out on the scramble either.
Just over 2 minutes to go, opening quarter, 8-0 Argos. Durant deep drop, gets hit as he delivered the football and knocked it out of bounds by Evan McCullough, who returns to the Argos secondary with a pass knockdown. And speaking of knockdown, Darian Durant was.
Well, 2 Argonauts came free. It appeared to be Jeremy Nerdle, who often plays it the nickelback on passing downs, who delivered the blow to Durant and led to this inaccurate pass.
Chris Milo flying in Hawaiian, Chad Owens. Saskatchewan has sputtered here in this first quarter. And the 20-second play clock had expired. Riders had some issues with personnel coming on the field, and we'll have to take the time count.
Time count, Saskatchewan number 19. Repeat, third down.
Where you've seen glimpses of sharpness from the Toronto Argonauts in all 3 phases of the game so far. Saskatchewan Roughriders seem just a little disheveled here in the early going.
Nice shot. Milo puts it off his foot, and Owens makes one move and runs right into a teammate. Knocked backwards. Cleo Lemon back at work. That's another thing I don't think you and I would try. Nice view though. Cleo Lemon swings it out for Andre Dury. Dury now with some running room to the midfield stripe, and Christian Jackson makes the tackle. Little hitch screen to Andre Dury, and it has worked to perfection for the most part for the Argos. If they have had one play that has been really the go-to play, that has been it.
This is another one that Saskatchewan's defense could have put a stop to it early. Chris McKenzie, the defensive halfback, number 39, read this one all the way. McKenzie's coming downhill on the play. He knows Dury's getting the ball, but he just takes a bad angle, doesn't come under control, and misses the tackle.
Handing it off at the middle goes Jeff Johnson. Pounds his way close to a first down. Johnson comes in and spells Corey Boyd. Actually, they're both in their twin backs, thunder and lightning that time for the Argos. And the Argos throw Jeff Johnson at the green and white.
Well, Jeff Johnson, every time he gets an opportunity over the years, all this guy does is produce. An underrated football player in this league.
Millimeters away, it looks like. It will be second down. Again, an Argo offense that is finally getting some rhythm under Cleo Lemon the last couple of weeks, but the losses continue to pile up. 6 losses in a row for the Argonauts. A couple of winnable games, including last week in Hamilton, within their grasp.
We talk all the time, Rod, about football games coming down to a handful of critical plays that ultimately decide the outcome. It seems for the Argos, a lot of those plays have come in the last minute or 2 minutes of each half of ball games.
Second and inches. Corey Boyd, first down, and more. Jarrell Freeman, Riders' leading tackler, 3rd in the CFL, but his 40th of the season. Corey Boyd, though, gets the first down.
Jeff Johnson, the fullback, does a terrific job on the lead block on this one. Kicking out the defensive end, that creates the run lane. He gets a great block down from the left tackle Murphy to open it up as well.
Send it down, slow snap. Lemon lets it fly. One-handed catch there from Andre Dury. Final play of the first quarter, and the Argos marching with the lead. The Rider fans into yellow. All Argos, the number department after one quarter, the big glaring number, the one turnover on that fumble, the lateral that went backwards for Saskatchewan, and 8-0, and Toronto threatening again here to begin the second quarter, Dwayne. And you look at this Saskatchewan team, and I know everybody in that province of Saskatchewan probably wondering what has hit this team this season. In your mind, what's gone wrong?
Well, there have been a couple of things psychologically, but let's deal with just the football part of it first. And it shows. We talked a lot off the top of this football game about the importance of turnovers, the giveaways and takeaways. The Saskatchewan Roughriders have been horrendous in that department. It's exactly the reason why they're down in this football game. They handed the Toronto Argonauts a short field, but then you go beyond turnovers and you see fundamental things like missed tackles. It's all killing the Roughriders at this point.
Corey Boyd again. Plunges up the middle. On 1st and 10 as the Argos now approach the red zone. This year operating at about 43.6 when Cleo Lemon and his offense gets in that red zone, or green zone to some people, which is 20 yards to the end zone. League average is about 47%, so those numbers down for the Argos. Rideau, haven't seen that. CFL Offensive Player of the Week, coming off a monster game last week. 2 touchdown receptions for Brandon Rideau.
Much of the talk surrounding the success of Brandon Rideau this season has been about the fact that he's been consistent catching the football. He had lots of opportunities as a first-year player last season, but struggled to catch the ball with any consistency. This year he's been making good plays on the ball, and his statistics show it as he's the Argos' leading receiver. There, lets one get away.
Noel Prefontaine from the 27. Missed field goal last week against Hamilton cost his team. Did not miss there. 11-zip. Wayne Ford gave up his telestrator. There they are tonight. Joshua and Haley have been going to Argo games since they were born. Peter, originally a Hamilton Tiger Cat fan, and had to be a converted Argo fan because of his wife. And he is now. So hail to the Durham family. Thanks for showing your colors tonight. 11-0. As Brandon West finds his way up to the 30-yard line. And very quiet start again for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who scored 21 fourth quarter points last week against the Calgary Stampeders, but still came up short. Darian Durant having trouble finding his rhythm. Everybody has lamented the loss of Andy Fantuz, of course, Rob Bagg, who's out with injury, and others. No Wes Cates, of course. You still got to get it done. And from Hill gets it done here. And Ejiro Kawali, the tackle to bring him down.
Well, I think from Darian Durant's perspective, the changes to his receiving core are very significant. Durant had terrific chemistry with the guys he's played with, basically has grown up with in this Rough Rider offense. Now trying to get used to a new group, but the biggest thing for Darian, he's got to take care of the rock.
Stu Ford with the rock. Again, another helmet goes flying. The game goes by without somebody's lid getting knocked out. This time, Gene Mikowski, longtime veteran. First down for the Riders. Down 11-0. Play action this time. The Riders go into their local boys. If it's not Stu Ford, it's Neil Hughes.
Neil Hughes, one of the unsung heroes of this football team. Greg Marshall talked about him